Hi there, this is video 23 on compound interest. We are now going to start solving for the interest rate. And this is where the math gets actually kind of fun. Because the other stuff is, it's pretty straightforward. Nothing too exciting. This one's cool. And solving for n is even cooler. All right, but let's just do the plain old math. Okay, so a little bit difference here. Look, 1051 is equal to 1,000 times that to the 10th. Normally we add those together, but we can't because they're not like terms. So let's take it easy. What can we get rid of on this side? Okay, what we can do is we can divide this side by 1,000 and we can divide this by 1,000. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm going to do it. Yeah, 1.051 is equal to 1 plus I to the 10th. Okay, and this is where, you know, just like when we did simple interest, you needed to know the kind of the trick to remember to put the 1 in front of the P to make it all work. Okay, we need to do something here. There's a bunch of different ways to explain it. And I think the easiest is just talking about using fractional exponents. We need, see, our problem right now is this. We can't get to that I in there because there's an exponent 10 there. The big question right now is what number times 10 gives me 1? So put that up here. So 10 times something is going to give me 1. Now, it's not 10 times 1 because 10 times 1 is 10. 10 times 2, no, that's 20. That's getting the wrong way. Well, the answer is actually 0.1, but there's an easy way to do it. If we put this 1 over 10, a little bit of fractions here for a moment, don't be afraid. Right? Any whole number can be turned into a fraction by putting it over 1. And then if you turn it upside down, sorry, E-C-I-P-R-O-C-A-L, that is a reciprocal. In other words, flip the number, and when you multiply those together, you're going to get 1. And if it's been a while that you multiplied, you go 10 times 1 is 10. And put it up here, multiply across top, across bottom. And if you don't believe me, we can also go 1 divided by 10 is like 0.1. And you go 10 times 0.1 is 1. The key here is reciprocal. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this side of the equation and we're going to make it to the 1/10, because that is going to make this part disappear. This is one of those things in math that they assume that you did a whole lot of work with exponents in, like, I don't know, grade 10, grade 11. But I'll just show you the magic to make it work. Now, what is the golden rule about equations? Do you guys remember? Whatever you do to one side, I'm imagining you saying it, you must do to the other. So just like when you subtract 40 from one side, you got to subtract 40 from the other side. Or when you double one or multiply one side by 2, you got to multiply the other side by 2. Well, you know what? It doesn't change even when we're doing this crazy stuff with reciprocals. Okay, so here's what happens over here. This power rule, boop, boop, that disappears, and we're left with 1 plus I, which is what we want. We got rid of the exponent. Now, this side, I'm going to make life easier. Do you remember what I said? 1 over 10 as a decimal. 1 divided by 10. You already know this. It's 0.1. So I'm going to type in 1.051 and then my exponent key and 0.1 this time. 1.00499. Oopsie. 4 0.986. That's enough. Is equal to 1 plus I. Okay, so again, 1.051, and then I did that caret thingy, the exponent key, and 0.1. And that was, the 0.1 came from here. Now I want to solve this, we want to get the I by itself. I'm going to subtract 1, I'm going to subtract 1. So 0.004, oopsies, 986 is equal to I, but that's I as a decimal. We need it as a percent. So we're going to multiply through by 100. Minus 1. Oh my goodness, now I made a mess. Okay, 1.051. Okay, minus 1. Oh, my calculator flipped it over to scientific notation. Really? I'm going to figure out how to do that. But you know what? I'm just going to multiply by 100. I don't care if it's in scientific notation. There we go. So, or I could just go 1, move my decimal point 2 spots. 0.4986%. 0.5%. I gave you no instructions on how to round that, so I don't know. This is a fine answer. That's a fine answer. I won't dock your marks if I forget to tell you how to do it. All right, let's try that one again. I don't think we're ready for practice. Let's do it again. Okay, so we are trying to isolate the I, and it's just a few different steps here. So first thing we're going to do, we can divide to get rid of that. 2550. And same thing on this side. 2550. So you get 1 plus I to the 36. 2707.55 divided by 2550. 1.06178. I think I'm going to have to make up some kind of rule on how many decimal places to carry. When in doubt, carry lots. 4314. 1 plus I to the 36. Okay, so I need to get rid of this. So I'm going to multiply. I'm going to put the square brackets there, and I put 1 over 36. So it's always going to be 1 over whatever that number was. Because then when you multiply these two, it disappears. So those are going to disappear. So this needs to be 1 over 36. I'm trying to figure out how to do this without having to retype a bunch of stuff, but I can't. So 1 divided by 36, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to write that 1 over 36 is equal to 0.027 repeating. So maybe what I'm going to write (1.061784314) to the 0.027 is equal to, so all I did was just convert this one, and then these are still going to cancel out. I may have to rethink this when I teach it to make it prettier. I don't know of a better word, but prettier is what's coming to mind. 1 plus I. So 1.06178 8314. Caret 0.02. And then because we're repeating, I have a whole bunch of sevens. So that's going to give me 1.00166688 is equal to I. Oopsie, 1 plus I. So minus 1, 0.001666. There's 4 of them. 88 is equal to I times 100. Oops. I forgot to first subtract the 1. Minus 1 times 100. 1, oops, 0.1666. 167. I don't know. It's a terrible thing for a math teacher to say. I think I'm going to change the question and say round to a certain number of decimal places. Now, that seems really complicated. I just want to try something. And besides, we look at the question for the practice there. That actually is the wrong type of question. Oopsies. You should do that question, but I want to just see if there's a better way to do this. So 2707.55 divided by 2550. And that gives you your answer. You're going to take that answer. So that 1.06, 1.06 caret bracket 1 divided by 36. And see if we get the same answer, and then finish off. I'm just trying to figure out how not to write down so much stuff. 2707.55 divided by 2550. Boom. All right. Now we're going to take that and we're going to make an exponent, but I need it to be 1 over 36. So I'm going to bracket 1 divided by 36, close my bracket. Right, so this is that exponent right there. It's squished in there, but that's where it was. And that equals. Hey, it took me all the way down to there. So maybe that's a better key punch. Just use your brackets to give you that fractional exponent. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing up there. Okay, so then you get the 1.00166, etc. equals. So that takes you to this step right there. I don't know if that's simpler. Or you can say, you know, on those types of questions, I'm just going to write out all my decimal places, and then I've got it covered. Yeah, so I'm a little embarrassed that that's the question, because that's the wrong type. But you know what? Never waste the opportunity to practice. Excuse me. Might as well do it. All right, we're solving for P in this one, not for I. So this becomes really simple. 830.97, oopsies, is equal to P times 1.005 to the 16th. Again, my apologies, this isn't the right type of question for this sheet, but that's okay. 830.97, 1.005, exponent 16, 1.08307, and then I'm going to use my x to the minus 1 button, which is the same as divide in here. 0. We'll make a mess. Times 830.91. And I get 767.23. So remember, that's my principal. Should always be less than my accrued. Okay, I think that's enough videos for today.